Exam Matrix Tendency Tones. This video explains how to add tendency tones to the matrix I came up with to efficiently and accurately answer multiple hurdle questions on the Navy's Musician Advancement Exam. In subsequent videos, I will continue to add on to the matrix with items like the circle of fifths, clock, and all of the clefs. But for this video, I am just focusing on tendency tones. Start by labeling the row beneath Triad Quality Tendency Tones. As per NAVED Tray 10244, the Basic Music Book, Chapter 6, page 6, Tack 9, tendency tones are active tones that exhibit a strong pull toward a specific pitch, and tendency tones tend to move a half step to an adjacent scale degree. The columns we highlighted to remove half steps and form pentatonic scales are considered tendency tones in Ionian. These scale degrees, 4 and 7, are also considered tendency tones in all of the major modes. So in the tendency tones row, underneath each major mode column, write in 4 and 7. An easy way to remember the tendency tones in minor modes starts with a short music history lesson. In the early beginnings of church music, it was thought that the minor modes were evil. So in the tendency tones row, underneath each minor mode column, write 6 or 666. As per the Basic Music Book, Chapter 8, page 8, Tack 6, Mixolydian also has the peculiar distinction of an added tendency tone, the mediant or third scale degree, which is also listed as a stable tone. And although the definitions provided for both tendency tones and stable tones are seemingly mutually exclusive, the authors have included the mediant as a tendency tone, so I include it in my matrix, as it is considered testable material. As per page 8, Tack 11, Phrygian also contains an extra tendency tone, the supertonic or second scale degree. This one is also considered an active tone, as are all the other tendency tones save for the third in Mixolydian, so I don't have any heartburn over this one. To add these tendency tones, simply add a 2 to the Phrygian or third column and a 3 to the Mixolydian or fifth column. Now we will address Locrian. Page 8, Tack 13 states, as a scale the Locrian mode is unstable. It exhibits strong tendencies for movement. So in the tendency tone row underneath Locrian, simply write all. Let's put this to practical use. If you wanted to know the tendency tone in an E Dorian scale, you would locate your Dorian column and see that the tendency tone is the 6th scale degree. Then you would locate E in the Dorian column and count from the left to right, starting on tonic E or the 1st scale degree to the submediant or 6th scale degree, and find that C sharp is the tendency tone in E Dorian. If you wanted to know what interval is formed between the tendency tones in C Phrygian, you would locate your Phrygian column and see that the tendency tones are the 2nd and 6th scale degree. Then you would locate C in the Phrygian column and count from left to right, starting on tonic C or the 1st scale degree to the supertonic or 2nd scale degree. Make note of the D flat and continue counting, wrapping around to the submediant or 6th scale degree to find A flat. Then find your starting pitch D flat in the Ionian column and A flat in the same row. Here you can clearly see the interval relationship between D flat and A flat, a perfect fifth. I commonly use the Ionian column for the starting pitch and interval relations because I know that all the intervals are major or perfect. If the interval is between D flat and A natural, you can see that the relationship has been raised a half step from the perfect interval, producing an augmented interval. Conversely, if the interval is between D flat and A double flat, the relationship would be lowered a half step, producing a diminished interval. But for the purposes of our question, the interval between tendency tones and C Phrygian, it is simply a perfect fifth. So that's it for tendency tones. If you find it helpful and would like some practice questions or have any questions in general on the matrix this far, leave a comment or send me a message on Facebook. I will be posting more videos of the other features of my matrix over the next few weeks.